Chapter 38. Bravo was finishing the meal he'd ordered from room service. He wasn't sure what role he was being asked to play in St. Louis, so until he knew what that would be, he wanted to remain as inconspicuous as possible. He hadn't called the contact yet. The man with no name. Bravo wasn't pleased that he didn't at least have the first name of the individual who had hired him. He'd never worked this way before, and decided he wasn't about to continue under these circumstances after seeing what the contact was capable of with the recent disposal of Larry. On his way to his room, he'd stopped by the gift shop and picked up some makeup to use as a cover-up on his neck until the skin had a chance to heal. The clerk looked at him quizzically, and Bravo ignored the look. After applying it to his neck, he scrutinized how well it hid the rope burn. He was satisfied that the makeup hid most of the damage, unless someone was looking very closely. He was perturbed that he would most likely have a scar from the event, but hopefully that would fade over time. He set the tray and dishes from the meal in the hallway outside his room, and decided now might be a good time to check in with the contact. He selected the number from the recent calls on his phone, and it began to ring. "You in St. Louis?" the man asked, without any preliminary greeting. "I'm here." "Good. Where are you staying?" Bravo decided he didn't want the man to know, so instead he lied. "I don't have a place yet, but I'll find something." "Okay. Once you get settled, let me know where you're staying." "Why do you need to know that?" Bravo said, pushing back. "I just like to keep tabs on the people who work for me." "Look, I don't even have a name I can call you, so until I do, I'm not eager to give you anything more than what I think you need to know about me." "You work for me. I don't work for you," the man growled. "Correction," Bravo said calmly. "I don't work for you. I'm providing you with a service for a fee. That's different." There was a delay on the line, then the man spoke. "Sounds to me like something's changed since we last talked. What's changed?" "Let's just say I'm a little more cautious, having seen how you throw a retirement party for the people you work with." Larry was a threat. He had to be removed. I wasn't sure he'd keep his mouth closed, and he wasn't smart enough to be convinced otherwise. Besides, I thought you weren't too keen on him. My feelings for him are irrelevant. I care about myself and my survival. That's it. I'm not planning on becoming another casualty if and when you feel my usefulness is no longer required. Hence, I'll do the job I'm asked, but your knowledge of where and how I operate is off the table. Maybe we should part company then. If that's how you want it, fine by me. I was looking for a job when this one presented itself." There was silence on the line. Then after a lengthy pause, the man said, "Okay, we can try it your way, but if anything starts to go sideways, we go back to my way of doing things, which means full disclosure of where you are and how you plan to operate. Agreed?" "One more thing. I need a name. I don't like working with someone without a name. If all you need is a name, pick one, and I'll answer to whatever name you decide. I can guarantee that if you leave it to me, you won't like the name I give you." The man became agitated and swore into the phone, but finally complied. "You can call me Hernandez. Satisfied?" "Yes, Hernandez. That makes me very happy. So, what's the job?" Javon had dropped Jennifer back at her hotel after their dinner together. He was angry with himself as he'd felt awkward all evening. He'd been nervous the whole time they were together and knew Jennifer had struggled to keep the conversation going. The evening hadn't gone as he'd hoped, but had gone as he'd feared it would. "I never should have accepted the dinner invitation," he mumbled. He was now back in the office and it was late. Only a couple of agents were in the office, heads down on their assigned mysteries to solve. He'd come to the office instead of going home because he needed something to distract him from the uncomfortable feeling he was left with after his evening with Jennifer. He opened his laptop and checked his email. Scanning through, he noticed an email from Angelina Bernardi had arrived. He quickly opened it and read the contents. "Agente speciale Javon Morris. I have confermato Signore Jenkins. Took on taxi from Florence to Galliano di Mugello on June 19th. Currently checking a hotel registrato, t'ho determinato il signore Jenkins è registrato un hotel there. Will contact you presto. Arrivederci, Angelina. Javon promptly typed a response. Agent Angelina Bernardi, thank you for getting back to me. I understand you confirmed that Mr. Jenkins took a taxi from Florence to Galliano on June 19th. I await your reply once you've checked on the hotel registrations to see if he registered at one of the hotels there. Thank you for keeping me informed. Special Agent Javon Morris. He was pleased they seemed to be getting somewhere with tracking down Jenkins. If he was registered in one of the hotels and alive, they could focus on determining who may have put the video together. He'd not yet given up hope of finding out who was behind this. Cortez was furious. How dare Bravo make demands of him? He's the one in control, not Bravo. He began to wonder if Bravo could be trusted, or if he'd need to call in another. He liked what Bravo offered, but also wanted someone he could control. He decided he needed to cover all bases and called a number on the burner phone. Yes? Sorry to call so late, Cortez apologized. No problem, I was still up. I may have another job for you. So soon? Unfortunately, yes. Who and where? Smith, in St. Louis. That might be a problem. In the short time I spoke with him, I could see he's no slouch. I understand, and if it comes to that, I'll need to increase the compensation. If it comes to that? Correct. I'm just trying to cover my bases. He's not easily controlled, so I need you as a backup in case he gets any ideas. I can be in St. Louis tomorrow. That would be appreciated. As I said, it's only a contingency at this point. If he pulls off the job without further challenges, I'll let him continue until I determine he's no longer trustworthy. If it comes down to him needing to be removed, the fee will be triple your usual payment. Triple? As I have previously mentioned, he could be a problem. Problems come with risk, and risk costs money. Okay, but now you only need to watch and not enact, so the payment will remain as before until you need to take action. That is acceptable. Call me when you arrive in St. Louis. With that, Cortez disconnected the call.